Hello and welcome to the Seagull Sports Network. I'm Nick Lewis, alongside me my partner Steve Bowen. We are here for the Elite Eight third round of the NCAA Division III football tournament. Salisbury University taking on Muhlenberg College here in yet again another battle of undefeateds for the Seagulls, in a game in which both teams will look to keep that going and look to move to the Final Four. Obviously, you got a pretty clear battle here between the top offense and the top defense. Steve, what do you expect to see here today?
As you said, Nick, you said it right there. Top offense and top defense. Salisbury is the #1 scoring defense in this tournament still left, and Muhlenberg has yet to let up a single point to any of their past 3 games. So it's going to be tough for these two teams to go against each other today.
We knew, coming back to the Elite Eight from last year, the year before, we were very confident and we knew we were in the right spot. And we were just, so ready to be on the field.
What I remember that week was everyone was worried about the triple option. They were scoring a lot of points. It was different from what everyone was seeing. But to be honest with you, I remember our scout team guys run it really well. We had a couple guys who ran the triple in high school, and at important positions, quarterback, a couple running backs ran it. So they were pretty familiar with the timing. As for an offensive standpoint, I think we were just really focused on, we were worried about, controlling the clock and really just executing early and maybe get an early lead.
I remember going into that week, we heard about them putting up a bunch of numbers, but we also knew we had a good defense. So, we were confident in our abilities, and, we were kind of excited to attack a New England defense and kind of play in a defense that just allowed us to be really fast.
We are underway here. So far on the year, 88% in the red zone. Going to look to keep that up now. 2nd down and 5 from the 11. Lanham fakes the give, gets the pitch out to Gleason. Gleason fumbles the ball. Muhlenberg comes up with it, and that's just what the Mules needed.
With the triple option, something that we talked about, we know the ball's going to be on the ground, a couple times a game, just from the nature of the triple option, handing the ball off, pitching, so on and so forth. The ball's just going to be on the ground. So when it is, we just, take advantage of it.
That play actually kind of calmed us down. Being a heavier offense that drive, because there are so many positive plays. And I remember right before that play, talking to Joe, he was like, "Yeah, we got to calm down. We're in the red zone." And then that happened, and then we went to the sideline, talked about it, then we fixed everything.
Obviously, when our defense turns the other team over, it's really big. It's a big momentum switch. I remember, we were all amped up to get the ball first. We typically don't get the ball first. We usually defer. So that was something new for us, but I think we were all a little amped up. And then our defense getting a danger stop right there. I'm pretty sure we went right down the field and we scored on that drive. So, yeah, our defense, they set the tone for us.
With 6:51 remaining here in the first quarter. Hnatkowsky going to fake the give, looking downfield, has a man wide open, and that's a touchdown for the Muhlenberg Mules. Max Kieran getting open and scoring first for his team in the quarterfinals.
That was a late week adjustment. Coach Milne, after he gets really familiar, starts digging deep into the archives of the other team, and he always finds, a couple tendencies later in the week. We understood one of the tendencies was when we got in a condensed, run-heavy set, that they were going to come down, and they were a true quarters team. So they were going to really play the run pretty hard in those sets. I think at the time we were, if not 100%, very close to 100% of when we were in that set, we were running the football. So we put that in. Max's job was to act like he was going to crack the safety. And then, our front side guard, I believe, was pulling, and typically in pass plays, our front side guard doesn't pull. So I think just the play design and then the way Max executed getting after the safety and hitting it up the chute was a big time play for us. He ran it really well, and we executed.
Hnatkowsky dropping back, looking, climbs the pocket, gets it downfield, has a man in the secondary. Muhlenberg knocking on the door once again. Hnatkowsky gets the screen pass to the far side, has a blocker, able to get downfield. That is going to move the chains. Hnatkowsky dropping back, looking for a receiver, has a man wide open, and it's a 13-0 lead.
Actually, Mitch makes the play if you go back, because we get in a 3-by-1 to the field. We motion Nick across. They were a little confused. Our tempo in the first couple drives had them a little confused. We wanted to go a little slow, but we were going at a pretty good speed, and they weren't able to line up correctly. So we motion Nick across, and then when Mitch runs the corner route, they get really confused, and they try to, or one guy thinks they're going to combo coverage it. The other guy runs with Mitch, so Max is in the middle of the field wide open.
They're going to give it to him there. Lanham keeping it, trying to make something happen. Going to be brought down for another no-gain run. So we get underway here in the second quarter of action. All Muhlenberg there in the first. Here comes the play. Lanham trying to get the pitch out, but well defended and nowhere to go. Muhlenberg all over the triple once again. 4th down and 2. Lanham going to drop back to throw, looking, going to go Wilson to the end zone. Wilson going up, did not come down. It looks like it's intercepted.
Nice work there, of course, by John Washington.
I think they motioned the running back to the flat, or to the flat. So in my head, I'm thinking, I knew I had help over top with Daymon, and I remember coming up, taking 2 steps up, and the quarterback fake, like pump fake, and then I would just had to get on my horse and get under, try to get on the ball. Luckily the ball was underthrown, and I just went up just with my eyes closed and just try to make it the best play I could.
Now under 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Hnatkowsky looking on 2nd and 9. Just going to dump it down to the flat.
Muhlenberg, of course, up 14-0 here against the Seagulls from Salisbury University.
Pass gets out there.
As the game went along, the offense started flowing. We were more fluent with everything we were doing. Short passes, that's what we were sticking to. The run game was established as well. So that's the offense that Coach Mellon goes for. And once we started doing that, that's when we started seeing results.
Salisbury struggling to find answers for this Muhlenberg offense. See if Todd Spurt can put it through the uprights. It is up and it is good. So it's a 17-0 Muhlenberg lead here. Now Jack Lanham on 2nd and 7, looking downfield, but he is met and buried in the backfield. Blitz coming from Muhlenberg and nowhere for Lanham to go.
Buried, definitely a good word to use for this sack. As you can see, almost immediately swarmed by a bunch of mules here as he is taken down hard.
But now 2nd down and 7. Lanham going to drop back to throw, trying to get away from a sack, trying to get out of it, stays up, and then finally does go down. And that is the end of this first half of play here at Seagull Stadium. And despite a few signs of life from the Salisbury offense here late, it's been all Muhlenberg.
We were coming off of, 2 weeks of shutouts. So, going into halftime, we're thinking, hey, let's get a third. Let's make a statement. Let's make some more history here.
It wasn't like, oh, it's 17-0, the game's over. We kind of treated it as, just like every other game, it was 0-0. We still had to go out and dominate. And we just try to make one play at a time, and we didn't try to look forward.
Just kind of, a reminder, just, hey, if they're going to take some shots, they got to catch up quick. Especially with how our offense was moving the ball, they got to put some points on the board. So for me, playing safety, just having in the back of my mind, hey, they're going to try some stuff here.
Hnatkowsky takes the snap, looks over the middle, has his man. That's a nice completion there. Now Hnatkowsky drops back to pass again, has his man over the middle. That's going to move the chains once again for the Muhlenberg offense. And this is a lot of what we saw in that first quarter. Now 3rd and 1. Hnatkowsky going to look downfield, has a man open, getting away from Sean Carroll, and that's going to be another 1st down for Muhlenberg. At the start of this second half, you heard the Salisbury crowd getting into it, but after this long, drawn-out drive from Muhlenberg, pretty quiet here in Seagull Stadium. Here's Hnatkowsky. Blitz comes, rolls away from the pressure, has a man open, and that's a touchdown for Muhlenberg College.
Mitch Daniel.
I just remember Coach Millen giving the signal from the sideline. I just remember Nico looking over at me. He's like, you got it. Like we got this. I was like, yeah, this play's going to be a touchdown. So he hikes the ball. I fake the quick out. I turn my head around and then just whip it upfield. Give a little arm on the kid just to create some separation. And then I put my head up. The ball's perfectly placed in my arms. I just reach out, grab it, touchdown. I just remember going back to the sidelines, jump in with everybody again, excited because it was kind of, we knew the game wasn't over, but it's kind of like some insurance there, It was especially exciting because those kinds of throws was something that I kind of had trouble with all year connecting with Nico on, but then it was just great to finally start hitting on them because we knew that it was always there. We just weren't connecting at the beginning of the year, but when it mattered, it worked out, which was great.
Salisbury's offense struggling today, struggling a little more than we've seen him this season. Really just has no answer for this strong Muhlenberg defense.
And Shamar Gray, that's who the ball is going to go to. Shamar Gray on the pitch, trying to get back to the original line to gain. He's going to be awful close, but not going to get anything more.
Tackle on the play is going to be made by Daymon Fleming.
Compared to the first drive when we had to get used to the tempo almost, and then from then on, getting a better feel of the offense and how it works. And, throughout and later in the game, I had a better feel for the wideouts and what they were doing and how they were trying to block me, so on and so forth. And just better ways that I could fill the alley. And then, when I eventually, get a TFL or get to make a big play, just like the rest of our defense, we love getting excited. So that's the best part. You practice the whole week, you game plan, and then when you make a big play, we celebrate. I love getting excited for our guys and just making big plays. That's what makes football fun.
Going to drop back to throw. Pressure coming, able to find his intended receiver, Mike Ryan Mofer, but that's right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. That's going to be another stop made by this Muhlenberg defense, and really, this unit has starred here today in Seagull Stadium.
Yeah, it seems like any type of play that Salisbury does, Muhlenberg's immediately on top of it.
That will be the end of the third quarter. Salisbury trailing 24-0 as this Muhlenberg defense, as we said, has been all over the Seagull offense. See what they can do on 2nd down and 20. Lanham going to drop back to pass. Looking out to the flat, has Damian King, who is leveled. The ball pops out. They're going to say it was incomplete.
I remember, I think they passed almost every play that drive. And I knew Coach David was just like, being a D-back, we're last line of defense. It was kind of like, don't let anyone get behind you. And I remember the receiver playing closer to the line of scrimmage than usually, because usually he's outside the numbers. I remember him moving in some. So I told Spence before the play, it's going to be like kind of like a slant and then flat route. And I just took 2 steps back and then came up and made a play. And I'm not even going to lie, I didn't even know what happened until everyone got excited. And then I looked up on the Jumbotron. It is a good feeling. It's a great feeling, actually. And just seeing everyone's reaction, that's made it 10 times better.
Now he's got to throw his team back. 4th down and 20, looking over the middle. It's intercepted, and that is going to do it. Joseph O'Hagan making the pick that will likely send Muhlenberg to the semifinal.
Yeah, you really got to give it to this Muhlenberg defense. The offense showed out, of course, under the arm of Hnatkowsky. But this defense is really what stood out today in this game, ultimately halting one of the best offenses in the entire NCAA to just 8 points.
To win that game in the fashion that we did and to go to the Final Four and to make history, it was very special for all of us. And I know, especially the seniors, they've been through a lot, and to try to send them out in a good way, it was very special for me.
Yeah, for me, even a year later, something that I'm still extremely proud of, not just me, all of the guys that we have. Like John was saying, we made history, first team in Muhlenberg history to make it to the Final Four.
Going into that year, I remember I was rooming with Joe O'Hagan, and we were talking if we stay healthy, we can make one hell of a run. And just the mindset that we had in the beginning of the season coming to fruition, all the way down to this game and the next. We just had such a great time. We built such great friendships. We just love being on the field with each other and playing football. So, especially in a time like now where we're not able to do that, I'm just thankful for the experience that we had.
We had a ton of fun. I think if you watch those clips, you can see how much fun we really did have. Genuine fun. A year later, obviously we were chomping at the bit to get after it this year. We weren't able to, but looking back, and it's crazy, it's been a year already. We had to make the bus trip. We were all upset about because, for whatever reason, we thought it should have been a home game for us. But, a year later, we're really proud, obviously. Whatever happened the following week happened, but, just pretty remarkable that we were able to do that. And like I said, just to have a lot of fun.
I remember right after the season, you go out to a grocery store or something, and you wear Muhlenberg gear, and people that never went to Muhlenberg, and they hear about you and they say oh, congrats on the season and everything, and that just kind of put a light on not just football team, just Muhlenberg in general, because we are making an impact in the community. It's kind of like we're doing good for not just us, but for the alumni and the people that's coming after us.
Every time I step outside and it's freezing cold recently, immediately I just think we should be playing in the playoffs right now. This is playoff weather. Thanksgiving at home with my family, I'm thinking I shouldn't be here right now. I should be practicing out with my teammates. All the time I'm seeing reminders.
I think about it all the time, especially when you see college football on Saturdays. You miss being out there. Just looking back, I'm just glad it happened in the first place, that we were able to make that run, build these friendships and just be with those guys and play football.
Coach Milne always says it. He said it last year, I think, in this interview too. Just like, we don't really realize what we're doing in the moment sometimes, just because we're so focused on our day-to-day activity. But a year later, it's just pretty cool. I kind of agree with him. I think the older we get, the more we'll appreciate it. For us right now, I just can't wait to get back.